Hey guys, it's Jack of JackStoneBricks coming at you with yet another MOC Showcase. Today we're not looking at a Star Wars MOC like we did last time, but instead an Indiana Jones MOC. Yes, Indiana Jones, a franchise I think we've all forgotten since that last turd of a film came out in the series a couple years ago. But this is of course a MOC depicting the climax from the first Indiana Jones movie, Raiders of the Lost Ark. No, it's not called Indiana Jones and the Raiders of the Lost Ark. It's just called Raiders of the Lost Ark. All my fellow 80s kids know what I'm talking about. But anyways, this is the climactic opening the Ark scene from the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, depicting the opening of the Ark of the Covenant and the chaos that ensues. So this is a MOC that is sort of supposed to look like a what-if set, which is a lot of times how my MOCs operate. This one doesn't really have any play features or anything like that, similar to my last MOC, but I think it just has the vibe of what a Lego set of this scene would look like, especially back in 2008 or maybe a little bit more recently. I built this MOC in 2023, I want to say, so it's a little bit different than maybe how I would have built it today, but I'm still very happy with it and wanted to show it on the channel, especially since one of my first videos, one of the times that I've come back to YouTube, was an opening the Ark MOC, just built out of pieces that I had lying around. And for, being an early MOC of mine, I guess it's not the worst thing in the world, but I've made a lot of improvements to my building technique style since then. Well, first off, I'm gonna remove some of the magic. As I always do, the real life human hand comes into frame and starts taking out some of these German soldiers. I like to give them kind of unique faces sometimes, like this one has a Batman henchman head. I just think that's kind of fun to do. And if you want to look at a custom minifigure, this is, I think, Vogel or something from Raiders of the Lost Ark. This is the guy that drives off the cliff, I believe, during the race for the stolen treasure. Okay, but we got some little small parts of the MOC first. This is a German flag with a black, I guess, falcon on top of it, but it's actually dark bluish gray. It should be black. The black bird piece costs like $20. $20 for a bird is kind of insane. But I have two of those flags here. I think they look pretty good. The little camera build here has a trans orange chain attached to it, and these three trans orange chains you can see in the MOC are supposed to depict the lightning that comes out of the Ark. And I think it does a pretty good job of replicating that. I've never seen anybody do that technique, so I thought it was cool. And then I did want to show these because I'm still very happy with this build here. Take the chain off. These are the spotlight wooden towers. They're kind of on a tripod, which is built with a wheel and a few pieces that are not really clipped in there, but they do hold. It's an interesting, I'll pull one out, and you can just barely get these to hold on, and it does stand up, and it looks pretty cool, I think, and the spotlight is pretty simple. Overall, most of the pieces in here are pieces that existed around the time of the original Indiana Jones sets, which is something I usually strive to do, but this was a few years ago. I maybe would do something differently now, but I really like the way these look. So there's a couple of these across the MOC. There's two fully built ones, and then there's kind of a smaller one up here. Okay, I think now's as good a time as any to take a look at the custom minifigures. Up first here is Indiana Jones in his German disguise. This is a torso printed by Brick Rebellion, and the face is actually an Indiana Jones face, just a standard one that I erased the eyes and mouth of and repainted to have him more stern and with his eyes closed. I really do like the face. I think that has a lot of aura. Up next here is Marion. Similar deal. I don't remember who exactly printed the body and legs on this figure. I did buy it fairly recently. She was the last figure that I needed to complete the collection. The head is once again a standard Marion head that I painted the eyes to be shut. Let's look at Dietrich next. Colonel Dietrich. Cool figure. I think this was a Brick Rebellion Customs figure as well. Pretty simple, standard. Cool figure though, olive green torso, which is nice. Head is pretty solid. And the hat is painted olive green, which is nice. That's how it came in the mail. So very cool. Brick Rebellion Customs has been very helpful for Indiana Jones stuff in the past. So that is Dietrich. Up next here is a classic Major Tot, or Major Tote as I always called him. I think Tot is correct. I think this is also a Brick Rebellion Customs figure that I took a white head and painted the melted face onto, which I'm very happy with. I'll pop the hat off so you can see it a little better. I think it's a nice mix of scary and comical, as it's still a Lego minifigure. You don't want it to be too scary. I painted this a few years ago too. Like I've said with all this stuff, I haven't really bought or customized much Indiana Jones stuff in years, but I saw this MOC and I wanted to make an Instagram post, and once I did that, I wanted to make a YouTube video, so that's why we're here. Still, if you want to check out the Instagram, I'm pretty active on there. It is also JackStoneBricks. And finally, here is Belloc robes. I don't remember exactly who I got this from, which I'm sorry about. It's a great figure nonetheless. It is one of the last 2 or 3 that I needed to complete this scene. This is a pretty detailed figure, especially based on a video game from 2008. He does have back printing, and the headdress piece is a standard motorcycle helmet, and there's some trans neon orange studs in there. But from the front, I think this looks pretty close to accurate. He kind of looks like a cardinal or something. I'm very happy with this figure. He's probably my favorite of the bunch, other than maybe Indy. Yeah, that is all the minifigures that go with this scene. And I guess we can take a look at the MOC now. Okay, well technically there are 2 more minifigures. The classic castle ghosts. They're floating above some of those light pole fixtures. Here is the Ark of the Covenant. We'll just start here, I guess. These are parts from Chrome Block City, and I bought it from Playmation Shorts, who is a really good Instagram account. It's a chrome Ark. It's really eye-catching. It looks a little weird in the heavy lighting, of course, but it's really cool. No clip or no bar on this side because it would mess with the way that the figures are usually posed in here. So we can just pretend that there's another bar there. Here's the MOC without anything in it, and it's super simple. There's not much to talk about here. There's some speakers, I think, up here. I made 3 of them. They're kind of at angles, and attached to each of them is a clip with kind of black Spider-Man rope. It's supposed to look like cords going from each of these to the lights, so I guess the lights and the speakers are all connected. I don't know, this is sort of how it looks in the movie, I think. I don't remember exactly. There is the kind of like rock formation stairs, all in big dark tan wedge plates. So that goes back to when I talk about like the set, or the MOC kind of looking like a set. Lego would never do something like this, I don't think. Especially not 15 years ago. But when you build a MOC, you get to build it however you'd like. So it can still have the vibe of a set, but not be 100% how a set would be built, which is pretty cool. There's a dark tan burp here. A couple of jumper plates to put Indy and Marion on. They look pretty good there. Some kind of rubber band would be nice, just to have them tied up, but currently that is not how it's displayed. You guys saw it with the characters up here. There is one tile missing. There should be a second dark tan tile, but when I was putting this together, I completely misplaced it, so that accounts for that. You know, overall, it's a pretty simple MOC. Probably didn't need a super long video like this, but I wanted to show off the minifigures too from some really good customizers. and I'll just kind of put the scene together a little bit here. Well, anyways, guys, this has been a look at my Opening the Ark mock. I guess the updated version of it compared to my 2020 attempt at this. This was probably built in 2023, so the difference from 2020 to 2023 build-wise was pretty significant. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys liked this mock and the minifigures that I showed off, and of course check out some of those accounts I mentioned, Brick Rebellion and Playmation Shorts, who makes really good content here on YouTube and on Instagram. Be sure to check out my Instagram as well, and my bricklink store, where there is some Indiana Jones stuff I think on the store right now, but it's, like I said last time, it's mostly Star Wars. There's a lot of Castle, and then Harry Potter. There's a ton of Harry Potter now. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you like about the mock, what you don't. Video, what you like, what you don't. How's the editing going for you? You know, any suggestions you guys have for these videos, I am willing to listen to. So thank you so much for taking this time out of your day to watch this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.